Koda's Bedtime Tales, The Moon Who Lost Her Glow. In the quiet heart of a forest, where the trees stood tall like storybook towers and the wind whispered lullabies through their leaves, there lived a young wolf named Koda. Koda loved the night more than any other time. While the other animals curled into nests and dens and the owls blinked awake in the dark, Koda would wander up to the very top of his favorite hill, a mossy ridge that looked out over the tops of the trees. From there, he could see everything. The stretch of the forest below, the twinkle of stars above, and most special of all, the moon. The moon was Koda's companion. She wasn't just a bright circle in the sky to him. She was a quiet friend who never left. Every night she rose with a soft silver glow and followed him from place to place, casting gentle light on his fur, keeping him company when no one else was around. Sometimes Koda would talk to her. Other times he'd just sit quietly and listen to her stillness. But one night, something was wrong. The stars were beginning to wake and Koda was already trotting up the hill. The breeze tugged at his fur and brought the scent of damp pine and sleepy earth. He reached the top and looked to the sky. The moon was there, but she wasn't shining. Instead of her usual glow, she looked pale and tired, like someone who had been up too long carrying too much. Koda blinked. His ears swiveled. "Moon?" he whispered. "Are you okay?" There was no answer. The stars flickered, the wind moved, but the moon stayed dim. Koda sat down for a long moment, staring up at her. Something about the silence made his heart ache. He had never seen her like this before, and so he stood up. If the moon couldn't shine, then maybe she needed someone to check on her. Koda left the hill and padded into the deeper woods. Shadows drifted across the ground and the branches above swayed with a soft, breathy hush. The moon's dim light barely touched the ground now and the path felt different, quieter, sadder. Still, Koda walked with careful pause and gentle steps. He knew his forest, and he knew where to find the ones who might have answers. His first stop was the hollow log where Old Badger always slept. The log was nestled under a crooked tree, wrapped in moss like a cozy scarf. Koda approached quietly and nudged the log with his nose. "Old Badger?" he whispered. "Are you awake?" A grumble echoed from within. "I am now," came the raspy reply. "What's all this fuss at bedtime?" "I think something's wrong with the moon," Koda said softly. "She's not glowing tonight." Old Badger blinked one sleepy eye and gave a snort. Probably tired, that's all. Happens to the best of us. Even the moon's got to rest sometimes." "Tired?" Koda echoed. Old Badger nodded slowly. "Think about it. Every night she climbs up into the sky to light the way. That's a lot for one moon." Koda thought about that as he padded away. It did make sense, but there was something else he felt too, something heavier than just exhaustion. He wandered deeper through the trees and came to a wide, ancient oak. Perched high on one of its outstretched branches were two owls, one tall and feathery grey, the other small and round with eyes like lanterns. "The moon isn't glowing," Koda called up softly. "We noticed," said the tall owl, turning his head almost all the way around. "She's feeling alone," added the small owl. "Alone?" Koda asked. The round owl nodded. "Sometimes when you're always shining for others, you start to wonder if anyone sees you." The words hung in the air like mist. Koda nodded. He knew that feeling, the quiet sadness of being there for everyone while no one really noticed when you needed a little light. "Maybe," the tall owl said, "she needs someone to sit with her in the dark." Koda thanked them and padded onward. The night was still. The forest hushed. A few fireflies blinked in the distance, and a soft breeze moved through the tall grass like a lullaby. He passed familiar places, the stump where mushrooms glowed, the creek where minnows shimmered, the berry bush that always gave him blue-stained paws. But none of them felt the same tonight. Not without the moon. Finally, he came to the base of the tallest cliff in the forest, a craggy path that twisted and climbed into the sky. It was steep, but Koda didn't hesitate. His paws found the way like they always had. He didn't rush, he didn't stumble. Step by step, breath by breath, he made his way to the top. The view took his breath away. Below him, the forest stretched like a velvet quilt. Above, the stars glittered in their constellations, and in the center of it all hung the moon, quiet, faded, still. Koda sat down, tail curled around his feet. He looked up and said softly, "You don't have to glow tonight." The moon didn't answer, but he didn't expect her to. "I just wanted to say, I still see you. Even without the glow, even when you're tired or quiet, you don't have to light the whole world to matter." The night wind wrapped gently around him. "You've always been there for me," he continued. "You lit my path when I felt lost. You stayed with me when I was scared. You made the dark feel safe." Koda's voice grew quieter. "So, I thought maybe tonight I could stay with you." He closed his eyes and began to hum. It was a lullaby, the kind his mother had sung when he was just a pup in the den, wrapped in her warmth. A song made of soft notes and slower breaths. The tune drifted into the night, curling around the stars carried by the wind. He didn't sing to fix the moon. He sang so she wouldn't feel alone. And slowly, very slowly, something in the sky began to change. A shimmer appeared at the edge of the moon, just a soft one, a spark like the tiniest glowworm waking up, then another, then more. The moon began to glow again, not in her usual bright, brilliant way, but in a gentle golden hush, a warm flicker, a quiet return. Koda opened his eyes. He smiled. She was glowing. Not because anyone asked her to, not because the forest needed her to shine, but because someone had seen her, even when she didn't. Koda curled up on the edge of the cliff. The grass was soft beneath him, the wind hummed through the trees below, and the moon, his moon, glowed above, watching over him just as he had watched over her. As his eyes fluttered closed, the silver light wrapped around him like a soft blanket. The stars twinkled gently. The trees stood still, and the whole forest, from the tiniest beetle to the tallest pine, fell asleep under the quiet, glowing light of a moon who remembered she was loved. The end. Thank you for spending this quiet moment with Koda. As the moon shines softly above and the stars whisper their dreams, it's time for you to rest too. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let the calm of the forest carry you into a peaceful sleep. You are safe. You are loved. And tomorrow is waiting with new adventures. Good night, little dreamer. Sleep well.